Radio Rahim with Frank Warren. We saw Joseph Park in a tremendous fight tonight. What did it mean really to him and to you to see him be able to slay another giant?
Well, to him, it's brilliant because he's got himself well and truly back into contention when people thought he'd seen better days after the fight he had with Joe Joyce. That's his 5th win on a trot, and it was a really good win, especially he was in trouble for a couple of rounds, and going into that 8th round, you was thinking to yourself, that Zhang would go on a bit, but he just seemed to gas. He seemed to be tired. He weren't throwing as many shots as he were, and Joe got stronger and stronger and boxed really well, got himself together and thoroughly deserved the victory.
Do you think a rematch is warranted? I know it's in the contract.
In the contracts, if he calls for the rematch, that's what will happen.
I know you said that AJ had a tremendous performance tonight. The cameras swung to Tyson Fury's face, who didn't look so pleased.
No, that's not true. He was cheering him. Both of us were cheering him at ringside. That's a big fight down the road. Why wouldn't you want that to happen? That's a big, big fight.
We've heard Eddie Hearn say that he's cheering for Tyson against Usyk because now AJ is the baddest man on the planet.
Well, I don't agree with that. I mean, not at all. I mean, the baddest man on the planet for me is Tyson Fury. But I suppose if you want to think as far as AJ's concerned, the baddest man in front of him is the guy who's beaten him twice.
Where does Ngannou go from here?
I don't know, really. I mean, look, he got caught with tremendous punches that would have knocked over anybody. They were powerful punches, and he got them off those right hands. I mean, they were real solid punches, especially the last one. And like I said, when we were talking about the fight, people asked who would win, and I thought Ngannou, we all know that he's a tough guy and so forth. But I always felt whoever landed the first, meaningful big punch, that would be the determining factor in the fight, and that's how it turned out.
AJ proclaimed he was back after the Wallen fight. Tonight, he was basically carried out on the shoulders of his team. Certainly says that he is back and maybe in best form ever. Do you think this is the best AJ we've ever seen?
Well, that I don't know. I mean, we will see when you got to step up in obviously in the opposition, than Wallen on that. And if he gets into a position where he fights the winner of the big fight that takes place here, the fight of the century on the 18th of May, when we get a absolute unified champion, a number one heavyweight, we will see. You only can be the best if you beat the best.
Does Fury need to make a statement like AJ made tonight for that fight when it comes down the line?
Well, look, Usyk is a totally different proposition than Ngannou, isn't he? Let's get it right. He's a totally different proposition, and I think it will be a statement. But having said that, as you say, AJ's there, and AJ's going to have to keep himself busy. He's going to have fights whilst that's going on, so it's going to be interesting times. And obviously, if AJ does have any more fights, the opposition's got to be stepped up.
And lastly, may I get your opinion on our friend, Mike Tyson, who is here most of the time? I was wondering why he wasn't here this week. Now we all know. What are your thoughts on Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul?
Look, I'm against guys of, old, and I mean it with the greatest respect, what's he, 58 years of age in a boxing match? I'm not really a fan of them. I'm a big fan of Jake. I think Jake's a great promoter. And the two guys are getting it on as long as medically it's supervised, and it's their choice. They're over 21. It's not, or well over 21. It's not my decision. And if they can make money out of it and they know the risk involved, that's up to them.
Well, Frank, if there was ever a card that you were on, I'd still bet on you. You're the scrappiest guy I know. The young man here, Frank Warren, Radio Rahim in Saudi. What a tremendous card. We can't wait for May 18th.
And before that, we got next week, we're in the Midlands in England, and we got the Magnificent Seven, which is going to be a fabulous card. 7 title fights, all good quality matchups.
Hard working and busy. Radio Rahim with Frank Warren.